given our slide issues and recent experience, I'm upping my slide carrying game a bit. So what we're going to do today to start that process is that I'm just going to use some warm soapy water and and I'm going to clean all the slide rubber that I can get to, right? So on the outside here of this one, that bulb, it's pretty easy to get to. Going to do that. All the exterior rubber basically I want to try and just wash down with warm soapy water. Now that includes the slide rubber that goes across the top here, which now is hard to get to because on this end of the rig I've got solar all the way to the edge, so I'm going to have to lean across and do that. I'm also going to get underneath and make sure I hit the wipers and the seals down underneath here to hopefully keep those loose and free of debris. So I know recent recommendations from the manufacturers is that they really don't say that you need a rubber conditioner. In fact, what they say is that they prefer soap and water, but some conditioners are okay, but they don't like conditioners that have propellants in them and things like this. This, of course, seems to be pretty popular. A lot of people are using this. A lot of people are recommending it. It certainly has propellant because you push the button and stuff comes out. I'm thinking about not using this, even though I now have a brand new can of this because I wasn't thinking about it. But I definitely want to get underneath and do the rubber seals underneath and take care of the road debris, especially since it's so dusty out here. Clean the tops. I can't clean the inside seals, which is something I'd never thought about, and I'm going to have to figure out when we go in and out of road mode somehow. I think that I can get to 3 out of the 4. Well, I know that I can get to at least 2 of the seals on this side, the bulb seals. I can get to 1 of the seals on the other side, I think, but then the last one next to the fridge in the kitchen may not be possible. If I had a 4-year-old that could get over there, they wouldn't be tall enough to actually reach much, so I don't know how much good that's going to do. And then I have the same problem on the bedroom slide, so we'll do what we can do. So the other thing I need to do is that we're in a new location, and it's been about a month, and so I'm going to go around as I'm under the rig and other places. I'm going to be putting down a bug barrier around some of the different points, trying to keep some of the creepy crawlies and things out. It's a losing proposition, as we all know, but that's the other thing I'm going to do today. If I'm going to be crawling around on the ground, I might as well do everything at once. So let's go ahead and see what I can reach with the step ladder here, and let's go.
Trucks rumbling, coffee in hand, had a plan, yeah. This was the plan. We're rolling into the story, winging it naturally. A little bit of chaos, a little bit of wait and see. If it all goes sideways, yeah, that's where we shine. Oh yeah, so buckle up, hang on, you're riding this ride with me.
So let's take a look inside this seal. You often hear of people talking about the inner and outer seal, and unless you've been kind of looked inside one of these, that may not make sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel this back, and you can see that on the outside here. On the outside, I've got I've got this wiper seal that keep the breeze off. But on the inside, there's another one that looks pretty much the same. And you can see that looks as well. So if we peel this one back, then there you see your wall. And you want to be getting both of these seals clean so that they work effectively, right? So I did that the other day when I wiped them down. You saw that. So now today I'm going to go ahead and put this rubber conditioner on both the inner and outer seal. So let's go ahead and do that and see what that looks like. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to spray the cloth and use it on the inside of this. Because it says that you don't want this dripping, you just want it wet and then you want to dry it. So I've gotten the cloth wet, right? And I'm very carefully wiping. Okay, so I am underneath my bedroom slide, and I think if you can see right in here, this rubber seal that's on the floor here is now tucked behind this. Now, I don't think that wants to happen. It may have happened while I was working the other day or whatever, so I need to get in and get this rubber seal pulled down a little bit so that it isn't getting caught on this metal, right? And you can see that I've pushed in a couple of places with overzealous cleaning. So I am not going to be able to do this one-handed. I was supposed to lock the girl up and forgot because she was being so good. So let's go see if I'm in trouble and if she's destroyed anything. If not, we'll go ahead and lock her into her kennel and see how she does. Oh, good girl, Daisy. Good girl. Good girl. You've destroyed nothing that I can see. Okay, we're going to go into the kennel. I think it's treat time. Well, Daisy was a good girl, so now we can get started on the next part. So I think that this side, all we have to do is this nice rubber out here. So I'm going to go ahead and clean that here. This time, before I wash the side off, I'm going to get down underneath and clean the bottom so that I'm not crawling into the water as well. I learned. Okay, now this is underneath. This is actually the brand new floor that was just put in. And this is what I was talking about, and I know I didn't get a very good picture of it the other day, so let's take another look at it. So this is the dust flap. Then there is some sort of water seal on the outside that's pretty thick. You can see how thick that is. And then there's this really other tight seal up underneath the floor. And this is where you need to be checking for rocks and things, so that if you end up with streaks that are doing vertical lines or lines like this, you have a rock or something stuck in here. So this is what you need to be looking for. This rubber is what is a candidate for conditioning. So really, really hard to do with one hand and hold a camera. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of it real quickly, and we'll go on to the next side. Now I bet you're asking yourself, why is Bozo putting the spray down here when the bugs could end up in anywhere and land on the pad or the patio and walk in? Well, that's because the vast majority of the time we don't have the patio down. It's most of the time, like for the next 3 or 4 days, it's going to be raining. So I want to create a barrier around the outside. I'm going to come in and spray this as well real quickly before the family gets back, so that it has a chance to dry. But I mean, it isn't foolproof, but the goal is to make sure that we do what we can. So let's finish up outside and I'll come in and spray this down. Okay, now when I go up on top, I'm also going to have to spray across the top, but for down here, that's enough. Time to go in and see what Daisy wants. Okay, well, it's Saturday, and that means it's chore day. I'm sitting out on the bench in front of the rig today because it's going to be like 140 degrees or something ridiculous. And my project for today is that I have two lights, at least two lights on the driver's side of the rig that are non-operational. And unfortunately, they're the marker lights, which means that they are indeed required. They legally have to be working. Called Brinkley, and their suggestion was to check the wires behind them. Makes sense. My problem is that the truck is having some lighting issues, and the way that things are not working doesn't imply that it's a truck problem, but I want to make sure that it's not. The other thing is that I don't want the truck to, if I do something stupid on the rig, I don't want to feed it into the truck. I know that circuit's buffered, but anyway. So what I did is I went and I bought a 12-volt battery. Turns out I probably could have used a cordless drill battery if you have one that's 12 volts, but I hadn't looked at them to see what the clips were like, and I was worried about those being really heavy current, and they can provide lots of instantaneous current. This battery says it's 1.25 amps max, which instantaneous ramp, which means that if something does short that I've done, hopefully it won't put too much of a draw on it. I mean, an amp is a lot of draw, but it's better than 10 amps. So anyway, so what I need to do today is I need to build something that will connect this to my 7-pin connector, and that's where I failed the first time I tried this. So the first time I tried this, I couldn't find any spades at Home Depot. So I got some of these rings and tried to bend them and put some curve on them, and that didn't work at all. So I went back, and this time Ace had, or Tractor Supply, of course, had a better set of options for me. So I actually was able to get some spades, and I got some pre-built alligator clips. So there's 4 of these, which means that I can go ahead and put 2 under the truck and then 2 onto the battery leads, if indeed I have a problem where I can't get the spades to work. So first thing first, I got to go pick the bag up that just fell because it's windy out here, and then we'll get started on making the wiring kit so that I can move this around and test it at various places. The other thing I'm going to do is I was dumb, and I bought 12 gauge wire because that's what's in the hitch wire. Problem is that I wasn't careful about what I specified, and I got solid core, and it's really hard to use. So I've gotten something that's a little bit easier, and so I need to just basically take this apart and rebuild it. So let's that's cool. I didn't realize that they were going to be connected together. So the question is, do I want 4 of them and cut them and then tie them into my Wagyu connector here? Or do I just clip on the ends? Of course, once you know it, I cut the black one, and I probably needed the red one because the black one is here already. And so I'm gonna use this for my, I was gonna use this for my ground, but yeah, that plugs into the ground. That's easy enough. Okay, so here's my little setup. So I've got my 12-volt battery, positive, negative leg, right? The negative leg comes to this switch, and then it goes to that connector there, okay? So what I did is I found a trailer plug wiring diagram, right? And you got to be careful because there's the truck side that you're looking at and the trailer side you're looking at, and then on top of it there's SAE versus RV. Now I've already been down under the rig and I know that the running lights are green, so I used green, that position up on the top right, like the 1 o'clock position for the tail running lights, and then the 5 o'clock position or connector number 3 in my mind would be the ground. So you see that I've put the ground there and the running lights there, and there's my plug. So let's go switch this on. And okay, so first off, you could see that that one's really nice and orange. That one is not. The side marker is on. That red marker is on. Now what's interesting is that this is the one that I was worried about, right? And so I can see that those lights are definitely on. But as you come around, they kind of disappear until you're off at them. And so my problem is that I think that I'm looking straight on at them when we do our light check and I can't see them. But I come over here and you can see those, but as soon as you're straight onto them, you can't see them anymore. So that's kind of strange. Anyway, that marker's definitely on. That marker is on. That marker's on. And I don't know if you can see with the glare, but the one up on the roof is on there. So I think the only one that's bad is that one, which is kind of neat. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so what they said is that there's a little lip right here. And I'm not going to be able to do that with one hand. Okay, so to get back into this wiring back here, what I need to do is I need to take these screws off, and then this will pull off, exposing 2 more screws down behind there, and then those 2, and then this should come off. I'm not going to try and do it with one hand, so I'll be back in a second. Okay, so once you get those bolts off, then this peels off. Looks like this is not really sealed here, it's just sealed by force, so that you don't have to be super careful about trying to separate those. I did because I wasn't sure how they were sealed. But now in order to get in, I got to take these off so that I can check this to see if this is actually getting voltage back here. Okay, so it turns out that in here, there's no serviceable parts. This is all glued in. There's no wires or anything in here, connections. It all goes directly in. So you do have to take this out because you can see that there are the wire nuts back there. Now, I will say you want to be really careful when doing this because you see that the decal must have been put on and then this went on, and so I've had to be very careful that I'm not pulling and cutting the decal because it's definitely adhered to the plastic here, the rubber here is adhered to the decal, and you can see that it's transferred and pulling off. So got to be really careful with doing that. Well, I had to reach in here with some needle nose pliers to get them out, but you can see that that wire nut doesn't exactly look fantastic. So let's see if we can't. That's crimped down. That may be good, but I really don't like the way that looks. Let's see if I can't do something about that. Okay, so I tested the voltage at the wire nut. It's fine. So that means this module's dead. So I'm putting this back together again. And one of the problems is that you see that the plastic holder here broke and transferred all of the remaining plastic to this rubber piece, which then means that when I go to put the bolts back in, or the screws back in, they go right through here because the plastic that's holding them has been transferred to the rubber. So for now, I'm going to put some washers in, and they'll have to send me this entire unit because obviously I can't reattach it. And there we go. So now we're going to see if this will go back in. Kind of. It's not flat against the wall, but we're not moving. And my concern is that this is watertight. So that's the biggest thing. Well, I think that's it until I get the parts from Brinkley. Unfortunately, I'm going to need it pretty quickly. They're going to have to rush it to me because I can't travel without it technically, without the marker light. So that's it for now. We'll go ahead and get the part and install it, and then hopefully we'll be on our way. This little project cost me about $100 by the time I bought the battery, which was $30, and the wires and a couple of other things. Which is a lot for the debug, but it's cheaper than the $150 that the Mobile Tech would have charged to come out and diagnose the problem. And then Brinkley, of course, would replace the repair cost. So all in all, I'm ahead $50, and now I've got a 12-volt battery and a setup for doing this if I need to do it in the future.
I've been so many places, I've seen them all with open eyes. Seen islands, open spaces, Serengeti sun slowly rise. All these memories, I hold them near me when I sail the Aegean Sea. There's one place for me. Take me to that place where I come from. The only place where I really belong. Take me 'cause this voyage seems so long. Back to you. Ooh. Back to you.